Welcome to Balcony Views with BJ. We're in Alaska. Alaska, yeah, it's a lot of fun up here. If you've never been here, it really is some remarkable views. Now, right behind me right now, it's not as picturesque as sometimes. I tell you what, I've really enjoyed this Alaskan cruise. But it's made me think about something. You know, we always talk about excursions. If you've never been on a cruise, you don't know what excursions are. It's when you get to ports and you have other things to do off of the ship, in the port. Now, some people will just do things on their own, and that's great. And you can do a lot there. I really don't like doing that. I like to have something planned. I've done both, and I've done okay on my own. But honestly, what I find myself doing when we don't have a planned excursion is honestly kind of floundering. Just walking around going, well, this looks cool, let's check this out, which is fine. And there's definitely some times for that. But what I've found is I really do like having a planned excursion. Now, a lot of people do excursions different ways. The ship excursions tend to be a little more expensive most of the time, but it comes with a lot of benefits. One of those things is you're guaranteed to make the ship. So if you've got a short port time and your excursion runs over for whatever reason, then the ship is guaranteed not to leave without you. You heard me, right? It's guaranteed not to leave without you if you're on a ship excursion. Okay? So if something happens, there's bad traffic, whatever, Mount St. Helens erupts, whatever it is, you're guaranteed to make your ship. They will hold the ship until you get there. Now, if you're not on a Royal Caribbean excursion or whatever your cruise ship's excursion is, guess what? If you get there after port time, get your camera out. As they say, it's a great time to take a picture of the back of the ship, leaving your butt behind. But non-ship excursions can be fun too. I've done those as well. In fact, I did quite a few when we did a trip in Hawaii with my mother. So there's a lot of things to be said in a lot of different ways. Excursions are really, in all honesty, kind of the meat of your cruise. Because when you take a cruise, it's to go to different ports and see those ports, and you want to explore those ports the best way possible. And honestly, excursions can do that. And there are so many different varieties. But you need to be aware of some of the setbacks too. Sometimes they get canceled. And they might get canceled for no particularly good reason. We're up here in Alaska right now. My mother and my brother booked a cruise or an excursion in Ketchikan. Well, wasn't enough interest in it. So 2 days before we get to Ketchikan, that excursion has been canceled. Now, I'm going to say something about that excursion too. I think it's kind of dirty. Kind of looks to me like they said, well, you know what? We're going to upsell them. Because they have another excursion doing the exact same thing, but it adds a crab feast at the end. Can you explain to me why my brother and mother couldn't do that same excursion and just not get the fat crab feast? I really think they could have accommodated things, but the crab feast, just the regular excursion was $59. The crab feast included was $179. So they got $129 crab feast per person. Now, it is crab, so don't get me wrong, I can kind of understand that, but that seems like an awfully big markup, and they were going to be gracious and give a 10% discount. Now, some of you may be saying, well, that's dirty of Royal Caribbean. No, it's not, because Royal Caribbean doesn't control that. Royal Caribbean does have deals with other people. They don't do most of these excursions. Just like Carnival doesn't do most of theirs. Virgin or Norwegian or Holland America or anybody else, most of the cruise ships do not do their own excursions. Now, they may have one or two that is run by the cruise line, but the majority of the excursions are run by an outside third party. So Royal Caribbean can only do what is allowed based on what that third party is doing. Now, to Royal Caribbean's credit, I have had a lot of success at the excursion desk with getting things at least worked out to where it was even. Okay, this one, they said they'd give us a 10% discount on the crab feast. Well, that's just not acceptable to begin with. But on top of that, my brother can't eat crab and my mother doesn't like crab. So I'm like, that doesn't work for me. So they found something that worked out, and they still extended actually a 15% discount in order to get them into an excursion that worked for them. So Royal Caribbean really does do their best. But excursions are a great way to spend your time in port on your cruises. So you really need to think about that. And just so you know, kind of check out, I don't know where I might be putting things, but I'm going to do a line of videos, a series on excursions. Because I have noticed that there's not very many excursion-specific videos out there. There's a lot of people out there that are doing, well, you know, we did this cruise, and while we were on this cruise, we did this excursion, and we did that excursion. I'm going to do a line of just excursion for this, excursion for that. Now, some of it's probably going to be mostly pictures because, you know, I love you guys and all, but I'm not going to live on my phone and my camera. I want to enjoy my excursion. I'll do the best to take pictures and maybe a video or two. But most of it's going to be me talking to you about the excursion, our experiences, and then maybe some photos or videos from that excursion. But I'm not going to videotape the entire excursion. I hope that's okay with you guys. If it's not, well, I'm sorry. I'm doing the best I can. Either way, I'm BJ. Those are my balcony views and my views on excursions. And I hope you enjoy your next cruise.